All right, we're back for the fifth and final round of the store championship. We have Luke Browning playing Taylor Gunn. Neither one of these players could split into the top 8.
Yeah. So I think we've got we got Luke on green white mid range, and Taylor Gunn's actually on red black aggro.
Yep.
Not control.
Red black aggro mid range.
So Luke definitely has the ability to kind of go wide here, but I mean, how do you feel about this matchup?
To give you an idea, the green-white deck completely destroys the red-black deck.
Just because you have like Shalai and
you have Shalai,
Lyra.
you have Lyra, you can just curve out better than them. It's not impossible for the red-black deck to win by any means. That's just how good that deck is. It's really dependent on like Luke missing land drops, and then Taylor using Soul Scarred Mage effectively to beat the Lyras.
Gotcha.
And for those of you out here hoping to hear Matthew some more, Matthew actually had to jump behind stream. Scott had to go, and now we're joined by Logan this round. And I don't know who's going to be commentating with me in the top 8, but I'm sure we'll find someone. Logan Reinhardt. Earlier we were talking about how bad white is by itself. So I'm sure you were pretty happy about that. Pretty happy.
Yeah, I wish I would have been here for that, so I could have a retort. Mono white is the best.
Mono white is the best.
One of the players that's locked for top 8 is actually mono white approach. And,
good.
Yeah, I'm actually afraid of playing him in top 8.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think I can beat that deck.
So Luke's on 6 here. He's got Lyra, he's got Shalai, he's got Walking Ballista. He's got 3 lands. Search for blue-white Drake in Standard. Yep. Show me your Cankles. That is, or land and wide. That is the best cycling deck in Standard at this time.
Unless you want to count New Perspectives, which I think actually top 8'd GP Copenhagen, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I seen that deck, so
yeah.
I don't know if you can call out a real deck. Undereducated here. I watch other streams on games such as TSL. I don't know what that is. I know what each card does. I know what the names are. Here, I simply try to remember card names and look up. Yeah, I mean, Magic's got like, what, 50,000 cards? Like, you should by no means try to memorize every card.
Yeah.
So how many more cards do you think Luke should let Taylor get under Bomat Courier before, like, popping it off? Does he want to just, like, put the next land into play, activate it, and try to get rid of Bomat Courier next turn?
Yeah, I would definitely get rid of it on Taylor's next turn. I'm a little surprised he attacked with the Ballista.
I don't think there's much reason to block with it, right? Well, this is rough. Well, I mean, he's just going to trade for Bomat Courier. He got 3 cards out of the deal. That's fine. Slater? I really don't think Chain Whirler is going to get banned. By any means. I don't think the card's that good. I think the pros are pretty ridiculous when they come to like their actual playtesting for like tournaments and stuff like that. And there's just a lot of really good red cards around Chain Whirler, and that's the reason Chain Whirler's so good. Like, soon enough, like, we're going to lose Glorybringer, we're going to lose Hazaret, we're going to lose Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Once those cards are out, red's going to look completely different. I wouldn't say it's going to be unplayable, but I mean, like, all of your best cards are going to be gone. Bomat Courier.
Yeah, I think we lose a Braid too, right?
Yeah, a Braid.
Yeah, I mean, the whole deck's going to be gone. But also, looking at some of these cards from the new core set, it's definitely going to give the other decks more tools. And I haven't really seen anything out of M19 that red's going to gain.
Not yet. I mean, they've given red so much over the last couple of years. I think they're going to... I mean, they always go through cycles for Standard, right? Where they, like, just kind of, like, overpower certain colors. Like, ever since, like, Siege Rhino, like, green has just been getting, like, increasingly good cards. And after that, they backed off, and, like, for a while they get dig through time. Like, you know, like blue had dig through time and all that jazz.
Yeah. Well, then you also had the days of, you know, mono black devotion. So
mono black.
Black was really strong for a minute.
Yeah, we'll do our best to get any deck list that anybody's asking for.
One last thing to touch on that too. I also think people get more frustrated when an aggro deck is like the overwhelming quote-unquote best deck, just because they feel like they don't ever have a chance to play their cards, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like you tend to like lose the match or the game before you even had a real chance to like to play your cool flashy 5 or 6 mana spells.
Yeah.
Heart of Kieran has vigilance.
Yeah, so Luke's in a pretty rough spot. I think he stumbled on lands.
I think he's got a chump with Jade Light, and then I think he's got Lyra in hand for next turn, and he's got to hope Taylor just doesn't answer Lyra. By blank, I mean, yeah, it just makes the card useless.
So he puts the Lyra to the front. He's going to have to use the Servant of the Conduit to cast it.
Taylor not expecting the Lyra.
So any kind of burn spell or chain whirler, but he drew a scrap heap for turn.
He's probably going to cycle his... I mean, how much damage does he have? So he goes to 5, blocking that. He goes to 6, and then he just takes 7. So, I mean, isn't he just dead anyways?
Yeah. Yeah, because you play the scrap heap, crew the heart.
So, Leo Zera MTG, it's going to be topdeckproductions.com.
Yeah, so not getting the land drop there really hurt Luke. He needed to be able to have the Servant as a block too. So, post board, I think the red-black deck should probably go bigger. I don't really think it can go much smaller, and I think Taylor just kind of got the good end of the game there.
Yeah, he was able to stay like under Luke the entire time. Luke stumbled for one turn.
But I don't know if he can like reliably count on that happening again. So I think he might want to go with the slightly bigger plan here.
They definitely do. Is it Crispy 19-1? We will have Thursday Night League tomorrow, which is Modern. So I believe League's just about over. We got like what, one more week for League, which I don't think you've done in a while, but this League is actually pretty easy, to be honest. Like most of the people that you expect to win took the month off.
Well, to be honest with you, I hate Modern right now.
Oh, I understand. I agree. Like, Modern's been pretty miserable for a while, ever since, for whatever reason. Like, unbanning Bloodbraid and Jace has made the format, like, just warp into this weird, like, everybody kill each other faster than everybody else.
Yeah, like a hyper aggro, hyper combo format.
Because, like, and I don't even know why, because, like, Jace and Bloodbraid themselves aren't even, like, that good in the format. But just, like, their presence has, like, made the format in general less interactive, because like nobody wants to get into a long grindy game versus Jace because you're just gonna lose. And then like you got to be faster than the Bloodbraid decks. So
so I've heard some talk of like if they introduce days into the format, it would allow a tempo deck to be played, and like tempo just kind of keeps all the decks in check, so it would slow the format down. Modern might be more interesting then, but also, I've had like a 3-year break from Standard, and Standard just feels great right now. So I've been enjoying that a lot.
Yeah, so I've really liked Standard for like the last couple sets. Like once they did away with all the energy stuff. Like I mean, I played Teamer Energy. The deck was fine. It was obviously very good, and that's the reason why everyone played it. But I don't think it was overpowered. The problem is there wasn't anything else more powerful coming out.
Yeah. So, any spoilers that you're most excited about right now that are going to be played in standard, not like Scape Shift or Crucible?
Oh, I mean, like those cards are cool, and I'm excited about those. Just because I'm tired of paying like $60 or $70 for those cards when they really aren't worth it.
Yeah.
But what card has me the most excited in M19? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. There's like a lot of cool cards, and I'm just like, medieval gaming core set just means the summer set, which is always Magic X year. I can't really think of anything. I mean, that angel looks sweet. The one that I'm sure you're eyeing.
Oh
down.
Man, I couldn't wait till my turn to speak. The 3-drop angel.
Yeah.
God, there's going to be a life gain deck in standard, and it's going to be great.
Did you see the Soul Warden? That's an enchantment.
I did.
That's not a creature.
I did. Yeah.
I remember making a joke the other day with you about there being a Soul Warden. You're like, just you wait. And I'm like, well, they almost gave us Soul Warden.
Yeah. And we have a Johnny's Pride Mate. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. There's going to be a sweet angel life gain deck featuring a Johnny's Pride Mate. So a lot of times when they play things during their opponent's instep, like for example, if Taylor attacks with a creature, somebody might just let the attack happen, and they'll wait to see if Taylor plays a creature of more value, and if he doesn't, they'll end up fatal pushing whatever creature Taylor attacked with. So a lot of times they'll wait to see if they can get more value out of their card.
Yeah, like if they're not worried about taking like 1 damage compared to like the amount of damage something else could come from. Yeah, Fumigate's very good versus aggro. Yeah, I wish I had my phone on me to look at the M19 spoilers. I say you just pull it up on that one.
Sounds hard. This is easier. The
What we got?
3-drop Sarkin looks interesting.
I don't think it's going to be playable. I think it's going to be Jace Cunning Castaway.
I don't think Sarkin's going to get any play this standard, but like maybe return to Ravnica.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you play Sarkin on 3, then you play Demanding Dragon the following turn.
Yeah, well, the problem right now with the dragon stuff is like you don't do anything on turns 1 or 2, so you just get run over by aggro.
All right, so I really want to find a way to make this card playable.
So we're looking at Chaos Wand right now.
Chaos Wand,
which is an artifact that costs 3. You pay 4 and tap it. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery. You can cast that card without paying its mana cost. So
then put the other cards back in their opponent's library on bottom in a random order.
What if your opponent's like...
What if they have approach and you just take their approach?
Well, I mean, I guess that's fine, but like you have to hope you hit
exactly
another
approach.
one. Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. Just gain 7 life versus control. Oh, okay. Now I know what my favorite is. This dinosaur.
It's whenever a activated ability on a land or a creature, you draw a card.
I don't know if we've gotten the English text for this dinosaur yet. The loose translation is Runic Armasaur. It's 1 green creature dinosaur. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land, if it isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card. So recently I've decided to start picking up cards for Green-White Value Town. So I'm thinking of that in Modern, and like, you know, you have this thing out and your opponent goes to fetch and you just get to draw a card.
That actually sounds insane. I didn't think about like with fetches in Modern.
Yeah.
That's really good. It's a 2/5, right?
Yeah, it's a 2/5,
so like,
a 3-mana 2/5.
Yeah, you can't even bolt it.
You can't bolt it.
And it blocks decently well too.
It blocks everything, even Tarmogoyf 90% of the time.
Yeah, you might be onto something there. So I wonder what that's pre-ordering at. If it's pre-ordering at like $1, it might be worth investing in because I could see it being like maybe $5 or something.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, I've been recently just like kind of like picking up any ramen up excavators I've been seeing because they're gonna rotate out of standard soon, and there's no way it stays a $4 card.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. So Luke definitely has a much better start this time.
Interesting. Luke,
Taylor,
I guess in response, Taylor upgraded that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because otherwise, Luke would have been able to just make mana and cut. That's much better.
Wow, that was a pretty swingy play.
Yeah, I would say Luke was far ahead, and then it looks like he's likely to lose now.
So he's got a Rishkar in hand, and I can't see what else he has.
So yeah, like think about how like good green white like mid range or good stuff is when like standard. Once we go back to we get the green white set, this green white guild
from Ravnica,
and
yeah.
Ravnica.
Yeah, that's yeah, you're right. They've definitely got a lot of tools right now. So you think
Also,
they'll bring
like
back
Shalai.
shocks?
I actually don't know. I think we're more likely to see the Scars style lands,
Is that like Blackcleave Cliffs?
Blackleaf Cliffs,
Yeah.
than I would the Shocklands. But I would not be surprised if we got the Shocklands again, because I mean they're not like specifically designed on Ravnica. Like you can just kind of implant those anywhere in like the multiverse, but like the names of them at least. But it's really hard to imagine them elsewhere. Like they kind of did it with Battle for Zendikar, but even then, like people complained like Hollowed Fountain doesn't look like a fountain.
Yeah.
Or like Steam Vents is like probably like one of the most real ones, but then like I can't think like the other ones, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But the interaction of Shocklands and the Buddy Lands is great.
Oh yeah. Well, do you think like too good of mana makes for a bad standard set? Because I'm just remembering like the Bant Company days, and that was just awful. Not to mention standard decks cost like
I think fetch
$700-800.
lands make standard miserable.
Okay, that's fair.
Like yeah, like when you're able to fetch for your mana, that's fine. Like I played back in the days of like RTR and all that, and that standard, and mana was like fine. You were never like strapped for mana or whatever.
Yeah.
But there were always times when like people like, always opted to play these like three color decks, and you just ended up with like the wrong colors because you couldn't search them out. So like you know, like you've probably played Modern before where you sit there, it's like, well, I have this 3-color deck and I have half the colors. I'll draw the other half.
Yeah.
You gotta hope for the best.
Yeah, I actually started in Theros RTR, and I thought the set was great. And so this Ajani is doing all kinds of work for Luke right now. He picked up a boat and a Thopter Arrest, but Taylor has an awful lot of stuff on board.
He has to answer Chandra right now.
Yeah, so he has to play the boat.
He has to play... Yeah, it looks like he's got to play the boat. And deal 3 damage to Chandra. So if you read Kyle's article, he talks about this matchup kind of like in brief. Or he said the red-black matchup is a joke, as long as you know what you're doing.
Well,
I guess that's the downfall of Luke just changing decks about every week. So
yeah, well, I was talking to Luke earlier, and he said he did borrow this from Kyle. So
it's
Luke probably has no idea what he's doing right now.
He has like half an idea.
Yeah, that's fair, but you probably need more than like, you know, you
Taylor's
probably need
a very
some
like
playtest.
skilled player though, so. All right, so Johnny down. I take it the 6 face die represent counters and planeswalker loyalties. Yep. Yeah, that's what they'll do in medieval gaming. He's got a lot of answers to all the creatures now, or some of the creatures at least, right?
Yeah, he's got a 2 Thopter Arrest and a Baffling End.
So you Thopter Arrest, Heart of Kirin, and...
He might just be dead either way. He's at 9, so if you take out the Heart of Kirin and Chain Whirler, you're still taking 3, 6, 7 from the creatures, and then just 2 from Chandra.
Yeah. So then, like, what if he just plays creatures? So plays Servant, gets whatever energy, then plays like Shalai. Nope. He's just gonna overload on creatures.
Well, he can baffling.
I guess he can baffling
yeah.
in this turn now as well. But I mean, so then he gets the, so he baffling ends the Goblin Chain Whirler.
Oh, he's gonna.
Oh, he's crewing. Oh, I guess he's dead.
I guess he's going after Chandra. I mean, this isn't
Okay.
This isn't bad, but like he's definitely leaving himself open to like a Hazard or a Glorybringer.
So since Taylor didn't block and let Chandra die, this is much better for him. I would take out Scrap Heap Scrounger, so that way he can't crew Heart of Kieran reliably. Or at least on board, he can't crew it reliably.
Yeah. So he needs Taylor to just draw a land, basically.
He did. Attack for 4.
We're gonna
Ribbons for 5. An attack for 5. Taylor not missing the graveyard trick.
Yeah, I don't think Luke really had a way to play around ribbons.
No, it's like I mean, what Luke was playing for there is Taylor to forget the card was even in his graveyard.
Medieval Gaming, what is the best Planeswalker for control? So
Teferi.
yeah, definitely Teferi.
Right now it's Teferi. Sometimes it's Jace, but Jace is more of like a mid-rangey Planeswalker, to be honest.
And what color combo would that be? That would be blue-white or Esper. But I mean, there's
Jeskai.
Yeah, or Jeskai. I mean, there's other Planeswalkers that are fine for control too.
Elspeth Sun's Champion is probably also one of the best ones.
Yeah,
ever.
I guess it also depends what format we're talking. If we're just talking about standard, like Karn is fine if you're not playing a blue-white deck. Chandra can be fine in a control deck too, but like you're just talking about best Planeswalker overall for control deck. It's definitely Teferi, and considering that in Modern the Jeskai control decks are playing Teferi instead of Jace, that should really tell you something.
Yeah,